Yes, once again, welcome to our presentation. And there's been a lot of requests out there for reggaes and for ZOUK. And guess what? The AJAMSONIC Pro USB stick or dongle is going to have that. And should be out within a month or thereabout, right? So we're working on these styles and these special requests that are out there for our customers who are looking for authentic Latin, authentic Caribbean music. New styles coming up, as you just heard right there with that ZOUK Love. And of course, may his soul rest in peace, Jacob Devailleur is one of those who actually created that, worked on that guitar that you just heard right there, the rhythm being able to have that particular strum, and which we've been able to capture, hopefully correctly, in the event. But let's talk about a particular feature here and how do we do that. Again, we talk about live guitars, live chords, and live elements that you bring into the guitar. But something that is not being spoken about, and we're going to talk about it right now in this particular video, is what we call multi-chord. What exactly is a multi-chord? All right, let's try and isolate this track so you can see and you can hear for yourself what the multi-chord is. When you program styles within an arranger, and this has its pluses and minuses, you arrange the style, you have your drums, you have your bass, and you have chord parts. And most of these chord parts, especially when you program in MIDI, you program the pattern, right? And what the keyboard does is you program that pattern, let's say in the key of C. But when you change the key, and let's say you play an F or a G or an A minor, the same pattern is played over and over again. But what the keyboard is doing is it's just transposing that, right? And working out some algorithm on how to play that pattern in the new key. Now with the event, with the live chord, the beauty is it's a WAV file, right? It's not MIDI anymore. So you have the different WAV files. And what the keyboard is doing is, based on the chord you play, it is just simply playing back that WAV file which corresponds to that particular chord. So these are two different parts of the world. Now, what's the part that's in the middle is your multi-chords. So this is actually MIDI, multi-chords, right? But what it is before you were limited because when you have a style with different chord parts, you program a chord part and the chord pattern remains based on the chord you play. But when you change the chords, it's just changing the different, playing them in a different key, but it's the same pattern. With the multi-chord, you can now have individual patterns for individual chord types or individual chords. So usually when you have your DAW, and this is true for most, if not all, arranger keyboards, you can program something to respond, let's say, in majors. You can program in different tonalities, majors, minors, seventh. Some arrangers even go deeper, right? You can actually have specific patterns that you want to hear reproduced only when a particular chord type is played. But what if you want to even go deeper and have a particular pattern that should be heard when a particular chord itself, not the type, but the actual chord is played? And that's where you come in with your multi-chords. So the multi-chords, you actually program certain chords that, for an example, if I play the key of C, I want this particular structure or this particular chord to be heard. But if I change and play a key of F, I want a different structure. And this is very good for like jazz, and especially here as well, even with the ZOUK. So let's try and hear or isolate what the multi-chord sounds like. So when I played the style before, all right, I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to play everything together. I'm going to isolate so you can hear what I'm talking about. So this is the actual ZOUK style by itself. Just arranger A. I'm playing a progression of C, B flat, F and G. All right, now I'm going to solo so you can hear that live guitar again. Which is following my chord pattern. Okay, unsolo that. Now I'm going to go ahead and pick the live chord, but I'm going to turn it on because it's tied to my variation in this case. So when I hit variation, let's solo that. And the beauty about this is I can change the voice and use another instrument if I wanted to, okay? Because it's MIDI. So if I have that, Now, if you heard in their variation, when I did the variation, the drum also changed. But guess what? I can actually close or lock that. I can actually lock that drum, okay? So you see where it says real drum to variation is enabled. I can disable that such that when I turn on the variation, the drum track is locked. The drum does not change. And only the other things that were assigned to come on with the variation are coming on. So watch and listen to this right now. So there's so much flexibility with this world-renowned arranger keyboard. So much flexibility in this. It actually makes you want to play and want to create music. Now, of course, the event also, not everyone is going to go out there creating live guitars in every single key and every single chord. Not everyone is going to go out there and create multi-chords in every single key and every single chord, because you have thousands and thousands of files that are dedicated to just one particular style, for example, or a set of styles, right? And that's where the style creators come into play, the third-party style creators being able to use that feature. And also with KETRON itself, the company, working very, very hard to even produce more and more styles and also take advantage of some of these features that are available in the keyboard. But I just figured I'm going to touch on that and talk about that multi-chord feature, because it's one of the very, very beautiful features. That's one of the least spoken about as well, in conjunction with the live guitars. And also to announce to the world that yes, we are going to be having our AJAMSONIC Pro USB dongle available very, very shortly. This will have a lot of styles, especially for the American market, especially for the Caribbean market as well, and for the Afro and African Afro-pop market. So stay tuned, that's coming up. Again, this is separate from the AJAMSONIC package, which has all the other plethora of styles that are already out there available at your fingertips. But the AJAMSONIC Pro is going to be something else worth listening to. Ciao.